we're women, having a vagina is not easy. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be how I stay fresh and clean down there. I really want to do this video because I wish that I had this video when I was younger, and I remember I used to watch other people's like how to stay fresh and clean down there type of videos, and they were so helpful to learn and like know at a young age, because personally for me, like I wasn't ever taught like, okay, this is how you clean and keep fresh your downstairs area. No offense to like my mother or anything, but like that's just not something that we talked about. Like we didn't have those talks. Like me and my mom are not really that close, so I never had those type of talks when I was younger, so it was very much something I had to figure out on my own, and that was really scary. And I had to go through a lot of trial and error, which was very much embarrassing, but that's why I'm gonna do this video. And I also wanted to do it because someone commented on my video, and it was a guy, but like also guys can watch this video too, and he basically had made a comment like, don't all vaginas smell the same? And short answer, no. And at least in my opinion, I feel like they don't, because everybody is different, you know. And disclaimer, vaginas are not supposed to smell like pineapples, like any type of fruits. Like that is such like, I know when I was younger and I used to hear that, I used to be so hard on myself because I just didn't feel like my downstairs area smelled like fruits and stuff. But that's because it's not supposed to, and people just put that narrative out there, and I hate that for us girls, because I feel like these narratives out there, they make us feel bad about ourselves, about things that are like literally completely normal. And the same thing with discharge. Like discharge is so normal and common, and like there's nothing wrong with it, but somehow society tells us that it's disgusting and that like it's so wrong when it's not. But yeah, that's why I want to make this video, just because I want to share with you guys what has helped me throughout my trial and error process. So if you'd like to know more, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so first things first, this one is kind of quite obvious. You definitely want to drink your water. Drinking water is really important because it's really going to help with your pH and odor. Water is super important, and I'm pretty sure you can get water a lot of places. Like I know at Starbucks water is free. I feel like water is not around for everyone, or like very much available, but I do feel like water out of all these other steps are like the most easy to access. That's going to help with your downstairs area, and that also includes your behind area as well. So just drink a lot of water. Water is super good anyways, and it helps even more with like odor and pH. Like it helps your hair grow, it helps your skin glow. Like there's just so many benefits to water. It's just overall good for us, so definitely drink your water. And then another thing which I just discovered, and I'm not going in order, I kind of just have like a lot of different things down here, but I heard about apple cider vinegar baths. Now I know people do not like the smell of apple cider vinegar, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just crazy, but I absolutely love the smell of apple cider vinegar. And there's like a ton of benefits to using apple cider vinegar. If you look it up, there's literally so freaking much. But apple cider vinegar baths, they help with your pH. It helps literally balance your pH. So what you do is, at least in my opinion, what I do is I just pour it in my bath. I use as much as I want to, and I just like swirl it in with the water and like the whatever preferred like bath soap I want to use, and I'm good. It definitely helps with odor because this has like a really strong smell to it anyways, and I found that when you like dilute it with the water and like you use like a soap as well, I get out in my downstairs area, does not smell like apple cider vinegar. But also, if you don't want to smell like apple cider vinegar when you get out the shower, make sure that you don't put more apple cider vinegar than you do water or product like body wash. There's just so many benefits. Like it helps with acne. I know some people use apple cider vinegar as a toner. Some people use it like to drink because it helps really good with like, I think, your immune system or like gut health or something. But there's just, if you just look it up, like I promise you, there's like a ton of benefits to apple cider vinegar baths, and one of them is that it balances your pH. So this is definitely something you could do as well, and this is super cheap and affordable. I got this huge thing of apple cider vinegar at my Dollar Tree, and it only costs $1, but now, you know, it's $1.25 tree but still, this will last you a really long time, you know. And in my opinion, I would only probably do it twice a week, maybe one, just to be safe. Okay, y'all, so sorry, my low battery came up. But another thing, this is like really personal. I personally prefer to use wet wipes instead, or like flushable wipes, to wipe my downstairs area and like my behind area. I just find that it's so much more hydrating, and personally to me, it like cleans up so much nicer. Like when you use like a dry like toilet paper, I feel like it doesn't really clean it up as well, and you're not really like cleaning it. Like you're just getting rid of it, but you're not really cleaning your downstairs area. Like if you just think about it, like you're not cleaning, you're not adding any soap after you just get done taking a number 2 or anything, or any type of water. You're literally just smearing it away. And to me, I didn't like that personally, so I decided to go in with flushable wipes or wet wipes. And yes, this isn't any soap or anything, but it's like at least I'm adding some water component down there, and for one, it also feels a lot nicer. I know I use these and I fell in love with them. I no longer like to use toilet paper. My boyfriend tried it out, and he even has commented on one of my videos when I talked about these that it's life-changing. You should definitely try it. I will say though, if you live in an apartment or you have your own house, to be careful, because I've heard that sometimes when people use flushable wipes that it ruins their pipes. I don't really know. I don't have that problem, or at least I haven't. When I first started using flushable wipes, I used them in college, so like I wasn't really in charge of the pipes or anything. It wasn't really my problem or my issue. I know my dorm never told me not to use flushable wipes, so I just used them. Now I'm back at home and my mom hasn't had any problems, so I don't know. I would definitely check on that and be very cautious, because I don't want you to try out flushable wipes and then you have problems with your pipes or whatever. But these Cottonelle wipes said that they are tested by plumbers, but I also seen someone say that companies lie and say that they are tested by plumbers when they're not, so be careful about that. But I just really love it because to me, it's just much more nicer down there. It's wetter. It makes me feel like I'm really cleaning it, other than like smearing it with like regular toilet paper. So I really like these, and I like to go in with some that don't have any fragrances. So when I use it for my my like upstairs area, my flower, you know what I'm talking about, I don't want to use anything that has a lot of fragrance in it, or really any at all. So I go in with these cleansing water ones, which is basically nothing. It's literally cleansing water, so it has like no type of scent, no type of fragrance. They're really moist and wet, and I really like them personally. It just makes me feel like I'm really cleaning up down there. Okay, so another thing, and this might be a trial and error for some of you. I know personally, like I said, I didn't have a talk about my downstairs area, how to keep it fresh, how to keep it clean. And there's such this big debate on whether or not you should use feminine products down there or not. You literally look it up, you're gonna get both answers. People are gonna tell you that you should, and there's gonna be people telling you that you shouldn't. That's why it's very much trial and error, and that's why, like, us as women, we should not put each other down. Like, if another woman is saying she's using Summer's Eve, like Summer's Eve, people always talk about how it's not good and it's like awful for you, but if it works for one woman, then it's like, you know, why are we putting her down? Like, if it works for her, it works for her. I know personally, when I started trying out feminine washes, it was an experience. Some of them were awful towards me, some of them were really great towards me. I tried out Vagisil and I thought it was doing me good, but in the end, after like continuing using it, I found out that it wasn't great for me, and I ended up having a yeast infection. But also, one thing to keep in mind, if you are one trying out a feminine product for the first time, like a feminine wash for the first time, or if you are switching feminine washes for the like you're going from one to another, you might experience a yeast infection because you're irritating the area down there. It's something that it's not used to. So if you're going to switch from feminine products or try out a new feminine product, just be mindful of that. But if you're going to switch from one to another, in my opinion, I would probably take a break in between. Like, I would stop using the original one that you were using at first, and then go a couple of days, maybe a week, and then try the new one. But you might still experience a yeast infection or like some type of like effect, because like I said, like your downstairs area is sensitive, and when you go from one product to another, it can be like kind of shocking to your downstairs area. It's gonna be like, what is this? But sometimes you have to stick it through. But also be mindful though, don't stick it through too much. I feel like if you have to wait probably longer than a week, it's probably not that good for you. Like when I first tried out Honey Pot, I had a yeast infection and I just thought that feminine washes were not for me. But I stuck it through for like 4 or 5 days and I got rid of my yeast infection by like drinking lots of water and stuff like that, and it went away. And ever since then, Honey Pot has been my best friend. It keeps me nice and clean all the time. I love it. Honey Pot is 100% natural. It is pH balanced 3.5 through 4.0. It has no parabens, no detoxes, and it's gynecologist tested, cruelty free, sulfate free. And yeah, so I was kind of confused at first. I was like, okay, how is it pH balanced? It's natural and my body doesn't like it. But in my experience, I had to wait it out because it was something very new to me. I grew up not using feminine washes, and like I said, at first I used Vagisil, and then in the middle of it I just switched, which was not okay. But like I said, it's trial and error. Like, it's just something you have to be mindful of. But I absolutely love Honey Pot. So if you are someone who wants to try out a feminine wash, I would recommend it. I do want to say though, disclaimer, you don't need to use a feminine wash. Some people do, and that is completely okay. Like, everyone has different bodies. There's no need to bring someone else down because they need to use a product and one person doesn't. It doesn't matter. I know in my experience, I didn't need to use a feminine wash, but I wanted to, just to feel a lot more fresher and feel a lot more confident knowing that I cleanse my body. But that's just me. If you don't need a feminine wash, you don't need to feel that way as I do. But I love my Honey Pot and I'm glad that I use it, even though sometimes I don't need to. But I just really love it a lot. It really helps me stay fresh and clean, and it lasts all day. So 10 out of 10 for Honey Pot. Another really great one that I've heard about is this Dr. Bronner's Hemp Baby Unscented Pure Castle Soap. People always talk about this, and I was one of those girlies where I was like, oh my gosh, I want to try it out because I already had this in my collection. If you are new to my channel, I love hygiene products, so I have a ton of hygiene products. I only talk about hygiene products on my channel for the most part. So I already had this in my collection and I was like, I want to try out a new feminine wash. But this was before I was mindful of what I had just spoke about, and how if you go from one product to another that you might experience a yeast infection. So the first time I tried this, I had no odor at all. Like, it was amazing. Like, it was phenomenal. Like, I don't think I've ever experienced that type of clean before. But then over time, like I think after the 3rd day, I experienced a yeast infection. I stopped using it and it went away. But that was just my experience. Maybe if I would have kept going and just drank a lot of water, got rid of my yeast infection, maybe it would have worked out. But I just personally just switched to Honey Pot like immediately, and Honey Pot just worked better for me. But people always talk about the Baby Unscented and how great it is. Within my first couple of days before I experienced my yeast infection, it was amazing for me. But you have to be mindful. Just because a product works for someone else does not mean it's going to work for you. Dr. Bronner's and Honey Pot are two different completely brands, probably made of completely different stuff. It's all trial and error. You just have to be very mindful of it. But another thing, if you are going to put any type of products down there, make sure that it's unscented, because any type of fragrances can like really irritate you down there, and you don't want that and cause you to itch or have a yeast infection, and those are things that can really get out of hand and could potentially end you up at like a doctor, you know, having to talk to a doctor, be on some type of medication. So very much be mindful and be careful what you put down there. If you put anything down there, I would just say for it to be baby wipes or a feminine wash that is unscented. Anything else doesn't really seem necessary. Sometimes these feminine product like lines, they come out with things that are so very much unnecessary, just because they know us as women have a hard time, like, I don't want to say being insecure, but like trying to decide and figure out what's going to keep us fresh and clean down there. So they'll come out with these products that like we don't even need, and we'll feel like, oh, do I need to have that? Because it's like, this product is saying it's going to keep me fresh and clean all day, and that's what I want. Us as women, of course, that's what we want. So some of us feel like we need to get it, and that's not true. You just have to do trial and error. It's very much something that is very uncomfortable, and I'm sure all of us have had those experiences where it did us dirty. But once you get your hygiene down, you will see that sometimes the most simplest stuff is gonna get you right. Like, you don't really need all the extra. But if you do decide to do the extra, that's fine. Just make sure that, you know, your punani is fine and, you know, you'll be good. Another thing that I really like is something I haven't been using a lot, but I need to get in on it. It's just so hard for me to take pills, especially these. I like gummies personally, but chlorophyll. Yeah, chlorophyll. I have these Chlorofresh chlorophyll chlorophyll supplement. Now what chlorophyll does is it's an internal deodorant. That is amazing. I don't know what type of stuff, like, I just think the world's crazy sometimes. Like, there's literally supplements that you can take that is an internal deodorant. This is going to help not only keeping you fresh in the back and the front, but also between like your breath, your underarms, literally anywhere you could possibly have some type of odor. This is going to help you. You don't need this at all, obviously, because there's things like feminine washes and deodorant and mouthwash. But in my opinion, if you want to be extra like me and you just want to really make sure that you are smelling fresh, smelling clean, and you don't mind taking that extra step, paying the extra money, and these are your girl. You can literally look these up. People always talk about them. There's like a whole trend on TikTok where like people were like actually drinking chlorophyll. You can do that as well, but I'd rather just take the pill. And it's an internal deodorant. This one is like 100% plant-based. I got this from McKenna Walker, I think that's her name, on YouTube. So crazy that internal deodorants exist. I don't want to smell at all. So I love these very much. If you are experiencing odor, there's something that you could try out. Maybe that will help you. But also, you know, be mindful of like other types of things, like other types of products maybe, or maybe getting rid of certain products that aren't necessary for you. But if you want to try it out, like I said, I think that it's great. When I used it, I had no side effects like at all, so I really love it. And then another thing you could try out is cranberry supplements. What cranberry supplements do is they're going to help you with UTIs. They are very great at preventing UTIs, and it helps with odor. Yeah, it literally says it has vitamin C in it, supports urinary tract health, and is an antioxidant support. I got this one from Kroger's. It has 60 in it and 3000 mg. I don't know what that is, but it sounds like it's pretty freaking strong in my opinion. I like taking cranberry supplements, but I don't like this like certain one because these are freaking horse pills. They're fucking horse. Oop. I am so sorry. They're literally horse pills. Like, these are so big. And so I don't like taking those at all, but I love cranberry pills. They also have cranberry gummies. I don't know if they have chlorophyll gummies, but cranberry gummies are great as well because, like I said, it helps with urinary tract. And cranberry, you can also drink cranberry juice. Cranberry juice is good, but you want to make sure that you get the 100% like cranberry juice. Well, not juice. You don't want the juice. You don't want the cocktail one, actually. You don't want the cocktail. You just want the 100% cranberry juice. The cocktail one is not the same as the regular cranberry ones, but cranberry juice to me tastes good. I know people don't like it because it's sour, so if you are like that, I would just try out the pills instead. It's going to help you prevent UTIs. UTIs are really easy to get. There's no shame in getting a UTI. I mean, we're women. Having a vagina is not easy. It's something that, you know, you don't get a handbook. You just don't. It's something that all of us have to experience and try out and learn how to prevent. So that's just one of the things that you can do. You can also just drink a lot of water. Make sure that you're peeing after certain activities happen. Make sure that you pee within like a certain time frame. But that is all I have for this video. Oh, I also have the Honey Pot sensitive spray. I don't have it with me. I tried to find it like before this video, but for some reason that's just how life is. But I'm gonna put a picture up somewhere on the screen. This is very much not needed, but this is like that extra step. Like I said, like most of these stuff I talked about is like that extra step that you don't really need. It's just like if you don't mind being extra, if you just really want to make sure that you're fresh, that you're good, this is what that video is for. But basically I have the Honey Pot sensitive spray. You can get it at Walmart. It's like $7, and you just spray it in your underwear and it keeps your underwear fresh and clean, and it's sensitive, so it's not going to knock off your pH balance or anything like that. All of Honey Pot's products are pH balanced, so what you put down there is not going to mess up your pH unless like you are just trying out for the first time and your downstairs area has to get used to it. But other than that, I love that spray. You can also use it underneath your armpits, literally anywhere. It's just literally a freshen up spray, and it's very much convenient. It's like this big, and it's like travel size, and it comes in lavender, sensitive, and cucumber and aloe. So I think that's also a really great product just to have, just in case like maybe you're out somewhere and maybe you happen to have an odor or something, which is completely fine. You can just get the spray your underwear, and boom, it'll mask the smell and it will help with the smell at all. But of course you have to go in and really make sure that you are finding the root of the problem. But I think that spray is really great for like on the go, like if it happens to happen and you don't really have time to figure out like why you're having odor down there or whatnot. I think that's just a really great spray for when those situations occur, because sometimes they do. Like, we're human, there's nothing wrong with it, and when it happens, at least you can be like, oh, I have this spray in my bag, just spray it on there and you're good to go. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like to know more hygiene related content, or if you just like seeing like day in the life types of videos, I do those a lot on my channel. So if you'd like to see more, please be sure to give me a subscribe and hit that like button, and I'll see you in my next video.